Hey guys, Django Fett here, hunting down games, comics, TV shows, movies, and more. And this is a review for Monster Hunter uh, Legends of the Guild. So, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, and I've brought a friend to help me with reviewing this movie, General CJG.
Hey guys, General CJG here from State of Star Wars.
So, if you guys are not familiar with General CJG stuff with State of Star Wars, I've been collaborating with him with the Tales of the Jedi series. So I recommend you guys check that out. I'll put a link in the description for the YouTube channel. I've been involved with collaborating with CJG from time to time, and when it comes to Tales of the Jedi, I have to get involved. So I have to put that out there. So we just watched this movie, both of us, Monster Hunter, Legends of the Guild, which just came out recently, and we're actually both Monster Hunter fans. Me and CJ, we've been playing since like Monster Hunter World 4. What? We played 4, right? Or was it?
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah. But I started with Monster Hunter 3. So we're big time, Monster Hunter fans. We love that series. We've been looking forward to this particular movie because this is an animated movie that we've heard that is more faithful to the series because a previous one did not do that at all. A live action movie that we will have to come back to eventually. We'll probably review it later on. We'll get to that one later. I just don't want to talk about that anymore. Ugh. Sour taste in my mouth. So this one is actually a very interesting movie because this has been going along in the behind the scenes and a very interesting project because we love Monster Hunter. We want to see what they could do with that, and Capcom is involved, and the studio behind it is
It's called Pure Imagination Studios. It's an American company, actually.
oh, okay. Okay,
Mm.
gotcha. So it's Pure Imagination Studios, which is really interesting, and their 3D style is very much akin to like Final Fantasy,
Mm.
Spirits Within, Advent Children, that type of animation. So it's not like 2D; it's 3D style, and
Mm.
it's very good. It's very good in this movie, and I thought they did a pretty good job with what they had. And plus, this is only an hour, and only like no less than an hour. We have some interesting things going on with this movie because we have an interesting cast. We have, if you guys don't know, I'll show a picture of this right now for the cast. Dante Basco, who plays as Aiden, the main character. Now he is from he's a major voice actor. He's been involved with everything, including Avatar: The Last Airbender. He played as the oh god, I'm blanking on the name. He's like the Prince of the
Oh,
Fire Kingdom.
Zuko.
Zuko, yeah, that's what it is, Zuko. So he voiced as Zuko, and he's been involved with pretty much everything. He's a great voice actor. I always loved that guy. And we also have another interesting name that I wanted to drop too is Stephen Kramer uh, Glickman. So if you guys didn't know, this one really caught me off guard. But this guy was involved as Gustavo Roque
Rogue.
Rogue in the sitcom, the Nickelodeon show Big Time Rush.
Mm.
It kind of like when I was looking at the cast names, that one kind of like jumped out to me like this guy looks familiar. And but he was involved with Big Time Rush and he plays as Knox, which I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, I I also that also caught me off guard because I actually did watch Big Time Rush growing up in my teenage years. That was after I had already like seen a lot of Cartoon Network and a bit of Jetix. Like Nickelodeon was like next on my list.
So
Mm.
first, let's just get into the plot. So I'll let CJ go ahead and discuss the plot.
Okay, so the plot of Monster Hunter: Legends of the Guild. So it starts with a young Aiden, the same Aiden from Monster Hunter World, uh, which he pretty much lives in this village, and he tries to be a monster hunter. He wants to be one, and well, he basically has to. He was tasked in finding the birds, some of the lost birds that were apparently stolen from one of the farmers in the village, and so he was tracking like the footprints of the because it seemed to be the Velocity drone footprints, the ones that stole the birds. Turns out that in reality, the that while he was like searching for the Velocidrones, apparently the Velocidrone caught him off guard, and well, while he was struggling to deal with him, was saved by one ace hunter called Julius. And yes, for those that are familiar with Monster Hunter, yes, he's the same Julius from Monster Hunter 4. So just letting that out there. And so they managed to track down the thief of the birds, and turns out that it ends up being a Palico called Nox. Yep, a Palico called Nox. So they bring him to justice to the elder woman in charge of the village, but turns out that the ace hunter has some bad news to report, and it's that a elder dragon was going to eventually cross into the village and burn it all down. That elder dragon is none other than a Lunastra. Yeah, the big blue fury bitch from the Monster Hunter World game. That same one. And so they pretty much were tasked in taking down the Lunastra monster. But to do that, the Ace Hunter sends a flare and pretty much brings in other hunters to join in on the hunt. And so that's pretty much the plot of the animated movie. It's basically Aiden along with 3 other monster hunters. They pretty much have to take down the Lunastra before it pretty much incinerates the entire village. So that's the main story, the summary of it.
With the plot, it's a very simplistic plot. Monster Hunter has never been about the story. It's never been big about the story at all. It's about the combat, the monsters involved, the gameplay, and for me, I think they effectively showed that for an hour, and this is a faithful adaptation of the series for me. This is the best adaptation I've ever seen for Monster Hunter. I mean, there really hasn't been anything animated wise, but for what we get on Netflix, fantastic. I thought they did a fantastic job.
They did do a great job. This definitely the CG was great. The casting worked very well. The story, for as simple as it was, it gave us pretty much everything that Monster Hunter fans can ask for. We actually have Monster Hunter characters that we actually know, and not ones that were just brought in here for a big name actor. Monster Hunter live action movie that brought Ron Perlman as the Admiral. We got the characters, we got the story, and we got plenty. Like the entire movie is like imagine it like a 1-hour cutscene of Monster Hunter World, kind of like that. But from the perspective of Aiden when he was young, imagine it like that. It's kind of like that. That's the best way I can summarize it. Almost 1-hour cutscene of a Monster Hunter game, particular world. That's the best I can put it.
Right.
And it was really fucking well done.
Absolutely. And, the action was fantastic for what they showed. Like, them just fighting the monsters. And there are a crap ton of monsters we won't mention right now. We'll mention it later on. But there are plenty of monsters that they fight. With Aiden's character and, Julius and other characters. They fight the different types of monsters that you see, that you recognize instantly if you're a Monster Hunter fan, including Lunastra, what we mentioned before. Like Aiden, if you didn't know, has actually been in many Monster Hunter games for Generations and World as well, and Julius's character, including too. I mean, he's not been in World, but he's been in 4 and Generations, I believe. So this is kind of like a loose prequel to World, to freaking Monster Hunter 4. So it's kind of like I didn't even know they were really connecting to me, because I kind of felt like they were like their own games, but I guess they have a timeline of sorts. So let's give our final thoughts before we go into the spoilers. So we're not discussing spoilers right now. So I thought this was an excellent movie for what we had for an hour. Action was great. I thought the characters were, were good. I think there was one action scene for me that was kind of messy, and it was kind of like, I couldn't like really get what was going on. I can't spoil it. I'll mention it in the spoiler section. And some of the animation was a little messy, and there was one monster that they didn't do as true to form as I expected. For But for everything else, they did a great job. I just like that one monster. Um, I thought they could have changed some things with that, and I'll discuss that in the spoilers. But other than that, I had a great time with this movie. Great action, and a great short movie that if you're looking for something to get you into Monster Hunter or to see some cool monsters and Monster Hunter fighting, like this is the movie for you. And the animation is pretty damn good. Pretty freaking good. And it's from a US studio, which, CJ mentioned before, which like I thought this was Japanese, but that wasn't the case. But highly recommend this movie. So I'm going to give Monster Hunter Legends of the Guild a. So CJ, now on to you.
Well, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a great time. It was an amazing 1 hour watch. Monster Hunter fans, do not sleep over this one. This is the Monster Hunter movie to watch if you're a Monster Hunter fan of any Monster Hunter games. Watch this. This is amazing. Skip on the crappy live action shitty movie. Watch this animated movie. You have Netflix. Go and watch it. It's well worth it. And I myself would give it out of 5. I'd give it a 5, but if I could give it out of 10, it would be a 9. So that's the more precise. But yeah, that's definitely what I would rank it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie, and I think we should. Well, in the next video, we'll tackle spoilers. That's where we can talk more.
I appreciate you guys watching this video. We're going to go do a separate video discussing the spoilers. So we'll go full on spoilers with that video, but this was a non-spoiler video just discussing about this new awesome Monster Hunter Legends of the Guild that is out on Netflix, which I highly recommend everybody go out and watch this. Monster Hunter fans, non-Monster Hunter fans, everyone go out and to see it. It's awesome animated movie. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you CJ for joining me, and I'll put a link for his channel in the description down below. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.